The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hello everybody, welcome to Tokucast Reviews, episode 89.
Yes, we are 11 away.
God, what are we gonna do? We have to figure out what's gonna be the 100th episode.
We do. We'll figure it out after this.
Yeah, that's an off-camera thing, sorry. Anyway, hello!
Who are you trying to be? Me?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
It's getting there. It's
Garo The Anime.
Yes.
Garo The Animation.
Doing our first anime one.
I was going to ask, is this our first anime? Because
Yes,
I couldn't remember.
Yes, because we have not done Samurai Fumiko yet.
We did talk about doing that.
We did.
Maybe
I
one day
really
we'll
want
have.
to.
Maybe one day we'll just have a sub channel or a sub show where we just review anime.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Neither would I. I could talk about JoJo.
More.
Part 7 is the best part.
Well, anyway, that is a different video for a different day. Why don't we start this again? Hello, everybody. Garo the
The
Anime.
thing that inspired me to...
We're strictly doing the first season, right?
Yes.
Yes.
First
the
season.
First...
Every other season of this, unfortunately, will end up having its own video.
I'm okay
Well,
with
one of which is more
I'm
unfortunate
okay with
than the
that.
other.
Yeah, there's a reason I say unfortunately because season 2 exists, but
I never actually watched season. I watched like 5 minutes of it, quit, and then I never watched season 3.
I haven't watched any... This is my first time watching any of the Garo anime, and this is my first time watching this season. And
This
then,
one,
It's this one, and then Crimson Moon and Vanishing Line.
yes, Vanishing Line is great.
Crimson Moon is terrible.
Let's talk about where we always start off with the opening. The show has 2.
I'm not a fan of the first one, but I
Same.
really liked the second.
Also same.
Throw a little bit of that ska flavor in there. I was all for this
A
one.
little bit of jazz, and I'm sitting here
Yeah.
like, oh, yay! I
I
love
like the second one a lot.
I love jazz fusion. So when it ends up getting incorporated into other stuff like this,
And you know what? I feel the same way about the endings.
I really don't pay attention
wasn't
to
a
anime
fan.
endings.
I wasn't a fan of the first ending, but I like the second one.
I never really pay attention to anime endings. I'm so sorry.
so after watching a lot of
As soon as I see credits, I'm like, next episode.
Next episode.
Yeah.
Consume information. Move on to next
That's like
thing.
me with a lot of the Sentai ones. It's just like, well, the ending exists. I'm skipping.
Unless it's Kaku Ranger.
Unless it's Gaka or Decker Ranger.
That's fair. Anyway, why don't we talk about, since this is, well, I was going to say, before we get into plot, since we're talking about anime, why don't we talk about something we don't really get to talk about ever? Art style animation.
It's good.
It is good.
It
has its weak moments.
It has its weak moments. It has its inconsistencies. It has its quality control issues, but what shit doesn't?
But God, when the moment when that armor comes on,
When they end up transferring over to more
the
CGI,
CGI actually looks okay.
it does.
Especially considering it's an older show,
Mhm.
I'm very surprised at how good it looks.
Older. Came out in what, 2014?
I actually think so.
Compared
Sorry.
to
Just, it's funny that we're using that word for something that came out that year.
less recent.
Yeah, that's fair.
You better.
That's a little better, yeah.
Age up. Yeah, 2014.
Nailed it.
Do it.
But yeah,
It also has a movie, and I completely forgot about that, but oh well.
It does. But we're just talking about the show.
I wasn't a fan of our main character at first, but I don't think you're really supposed to be.
Well, we're going to get to him, but I wanted to go back to the animation style because this is something... You're right. Since the fact that we're using a different medium in this, I
Mhm.
feel like you can really emphasize some of the fights more because you could do so much more with the fluidity.
You can do more with fluidity.
You can do more shit that can't be done
You
in
can
real
do
life.
more with camera work,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you can do more with designs.
Yeah.
Because you're not limited by your CG budget.
Like the... I
Well,
guess
you kind of are.
the first...
Just not as
Not,
much.
not in the same way you are with live action.
Yeah,
It's a completely different ballpark.
The first golden armor because he has the rings.
Not just the golden armor, but the monsters as well.
The
Mhm.
monsters are humongous.
There's some really big ones, and the designs are, for the most part, really, really good.
Yeah.
My favorite one is that big tower with the 2 statues.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was a cool design.
Now we can go ahead and get into the first episode, and we open at an execution
We have an execution of a witch who is being burned for her crimes or
of
practices
being a witch,
of being a witch.
which is
AKA being a woman.
A witch burner!
pretty much the entirety of the first part of this because we see.
You just reminded me of something.
Yeah, has it anything to do with Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
I was thinking that too, but also, medicine at the time had an exclusivity to diagnose women with hysteria, aka being a woman disease.
Well, we are in the
Thank you,
kingdom.
OSP.
The kingdom of
We're
Valiante.
going to talk about that because I don't know what that is and I want to.
The kingdom of Valiante.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
I have to say, this is my second favorite Garo show. I got to say that right off the bat.
What's the first?
Goldstorm show.
Okay.
This show.
That's fair.
This show is really good.
I just
The way it
remember.
sets
I
up.
remember
I
us
think
not liking the first half very much when it was airing.
Yeah, it's different watching it like this because you can go directly into the next episode, so everything flows better.
And
It does.
And I think one of the reasons that I liked it so much is the setting.
Yeah.
This show has such a solid foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of medieval fantasy setting works
Really?
so well for Garo. I think it worked really well for this. Because we open up, we've got witches burning at the stake, we've got a kingdom, we've got religious oppression, we've got fear of the occult and the supernatural, and this like almost kind of grim fairy tale atmosphere, and it works so well for
I
this.
see where you're going with this, but I'm not saying I disagree, but I do have caveats to that.
Okay.
Is that it's kind of generic in an aspect of every
High fantasy setting.
high fantasy setting. It's just kind of a trope at this point.
It's stuff we've seen
Which
before.
I think is why the original Garo was set in modern day, because it was not just to defy the
urban
trope,
fantasy.
but it was a conflicting of tone.
Old and new.
Of old and new. I think that's what they were going for. Now, again, I'm not disagreeing with you, though if you take that description you just gave out of context, I think half of our viewers might think you may be talking about The Witcher, and I couldn't blame them.
He's not wrong. Like, at all. That's hilarious, actually.
It is.
But I
It
think
is, but
But that's my point, is that you can take that, if you take your description out of context, you can apply it to so many things and be accurate. I'm not disagreeing, but that does kind of...
I mean, hero saves the world. We can apply that to how many different things? I don't think there's anything wrong with a setting being familiar.
Again, I didn't say there wasn't, but
It's just a matter
it
of
was
for
a-
this
it was a-
particular
it was-
story, it works.
took getting used to, is what I'm trying to say.
I think the thing that sort of and this is going to be something that we're going to more get into once we get into the other two seasons. I think it's specifically this one because they're so used to that.
Urban fantasy.
No, to that European style medieval fantasy, which is something I really wish they, especially in season 2 where it went to Japan in a completely different era in the future. It's just like I really wish they did more with that season to make it better. And in the third one, we get to that urban fantasy again, but it works better in season 3. But we're going to talk about season 1. So we're in the kingdom of Valiante.
Yes.
We see a woman being tied to a crucifix. A king is sick. He has a son and a wife and a high priest named
Mendoza.
Which, even if you haven't seen this show, if no one has seen this show and you're watching this video, how many of you automatically know the priest is evil?
It's true. They said it. Why? I was watching that first episode.
All we needed, they don't even need the visuals. We just needed that description. Everyone went, all right, priest is bad.
It's hilarious because you're sitting here watching the first episode and the priest is looking out amongst the crowd and the king is back there in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, you couldn't have punched this thing in the nose any harder because you made it so obvious that
It's
he was the bad guy.
pretty. If there's one thing that this show has a lot of, it's things that are obvious, but they're executed well, so I don't care.
Yeah, because
Getting like towards the second half of the show, there's one thing in particular that I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly where this is going.
I've watched so much TV, movies, anime, what have you, throughout my entire life,
as a lot of us have.
that obvious things don't bother me as much as they used to, because now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who... I called the murderer in an episode of Lucifer after one interaction that had nothing to do with the case. Lady walked up, asked the paper to be signed, walked away and went, she did it. And I was right.
But in this case, I do love the fact that because of the time period that we're in is so mistrusting, and they're really playing off of that Christianity aspect, even though it doesn't have anything to do with the show.
No, but God, the Jesus.
It's Catholicism, Christian oppression.
It's not like Man of Steel levels, but yeah.
Because it is straight
Really?
up.
I am
Really?
Jesus.
No, I disagree.
It is.
I was just making a joke.
It is right.
It's a bad joke.
It's right there because there's just
comedy is subjective.
There's this huge crowd out there rooting for the witch to be burned on the cross.
Because that's what you did back then.
And then somebody says, after they light her on fire, wasn't she pregnant? Oh, yeah. And then she gives birth in the fire. And we get to see our first of the suits. We get to see the Zorro.
Zorro, the Silver Knight. It's a good looking suit.
I really like this suit. I love the fact that he's running through
everybody. I like the chains.
Yeah.
That's a great aspect.
And then he pushes Mendoza out of the way. And I'm sitting here like, if you killed him then, we wouldn't have had this issue. You pushed him. How about stab?
Gotta save the kid.
How about? I mean,
how often do?
Because
how often do Makai Knights really kill people and not horrors?
They do.
They knew who he was.
They also make it an explicit point of they don't raise their swords against humans.
They don't, but they knew who he was.
Did he at the time?
Yes.
Well, then that's a plot hole.
And then she is giving birth. The babies
that are also babies surrounded by fire.
It's a plot hole for the sake of the audience because while we all know he's bad, it has not been stated in the show that he's bad. So if his first action on screen, kill the priest, get the baby, move, we're gonna go, what the fuck? We're gonna be very confused.
I mean,
we already don't know who he is.
To be fair,
I'm saying
the show would have just ended.
No, that's also my point. Is that if he had did the smart thing, we wouldn't have a show. And if they tried to continue the show afterwards, we'd be asking, why'd you kill the priest? He looked evil, but we don't have confirmation. He was probably evil, but still.
And the thing is, in the background,
you don't kill people based off stereotyping.
The knight ends up
profiling.
The knight ends up getting away with the baby. Yep. And the priest, Mendoza,
save the baby was the important thing for the scene.
Ends up
save the baby, save the world.
Pretty much taking over while the king is sick. Because they are the ones who've been poisoning him the entire
Jafar
time.
syndrome.
Yes!
I was more thinking the fucking little girl from Sixth Sense who was being poisoned by her stepmom.
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
that's Munchausen syndrome.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
That's Munchausen. That's Munchausen syndrome by proxy. It's a very different thing.
Honestly, just thought she was a bitch.
This is Grimmel Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Jafar from Aladdin.
Except less gay. It's true. I mean, if you look at Jafar, he's supposed to be portrayed as an evil gay man. We'll talk about that in a whole different video about stereotypes. But
ooh, that'd be a good Toku talk. Moving on.
But in this case, Mendoza
in the comments.
Mendoza ends up putting out just
Mendoza
a high order to.
I love how we've been recording for 20 minutes. We're not through the first episode.
It happens.
We're gonna talk about.
We're gonna.
Well, I mean, there's only 12, 24 episodes.
24.
Yeah, so it's a lot less than what we're used to dealing with.
Yeah,
which I'm okay with.
Well, not you and me
because we do Ultraman.
But Mendoza ends up putting out basically a hit on all the Makai Knights and the Makai Priests.
As you do.
The scenes of one guy getting pulled apart in half.
Yeah, we see people getting tortured, destroyed, disemboweled, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. And then we end up skipping into the future.
Yes, we do a time jump.
Where we see one best character, Herman Luis. Who is Zorro.
Yes.
I love him.
I liked him a lot too.
His son, Leon, who is not that great at the beginning of the show.
No, he's not.
He's very angry, and that seems to be his entire personality.
He's very angsty.
Both.
He's ACT.
Well, that's the thing.
Number 3.
There are a lot of tropes when it comes to characters in the show. You have the horny older man. You have the angsty teen rebel, and then you have the prince who was promised.
Yes,
the naive royalty prince who was promised.
Now, I do want to sort of condense.
All 3 of the main characters, I think, are stereotypes in a way, but
they are executed better than most.
Yes,
especially
I don't even want to call them stereotypes.
Tropes.
I want to call them archetypes.
Now,
that's fair.
A lot of this show ends up being about inheritance. And who ends up getting
sins of the father?
Yes, the sins of the father. And in this case, who ends up getting the golden armor because it's passed down through bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the fact that once the princes are finding out a lot more about Mendoza and how everything has been going on with him in the background, and his mother ends up getting sent away, the king is still sick.
Yep.
That's pretty much his role.
Mendoza's still a dick.
Is still pretty much throughout this entire show. The king is sick, and that is it.
Yeah.
For him.
At least for the first half.
The prince ends up getting sent off.
He has to run away because Mendoza's going to have him killed.
Yeah. And
because he sees the queen
Oh, yeah, the queen
giving Prince Alfonso the necklace, and that's what sparks him to believe, he's one of the evil ones. He's one of the Makai Knights. We gotta kill him. Or he could become a Makai Knight. We gotta kill him.
Including his assistant, who's a crazy woman.
Yeah.
That is pretty much her role here.
She's got her reasons, but yeah.
And then he's saved by Gaia.
Yep.
The Gaia armor guy, whose name I cannot remember at the top of my head.
He's not in the show for very long. So.
No.
Tenjin.
Yes.
Nope, that's the name. Raphael.
His fucking armor's awesome.
Let's actually talk about all three of the armors here.
Well, they're all great.
I love how they are designed. I love the fact that we use purple as a base for one of them. Purple's a great color.
It is, especially in this art style.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, in different lights, it can also kind of look like blood-colored maroon.
Yeah.
And so...
It mostly does because a lot of the times they use it, it's at night.
Yeah.
So...
But it's so awesome. And I love we still have the different weapon styles. So we have the longsword, the twin daggers, and the claymore.
Yeah.
Because bitch got a big sword.
He's supposed to be the defensive one.
The tank.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. And I also still enjoy the fact that we keep the, for Garo, we keep the same kind of fighting style we're used to seeing, where he has the sword up against the arm with the claw like this. And it's nice to see, I guess, I don't know if I would call it a callback, but faithfulness to what it's adapting.
I think the best thing about seeing the armor in
anime... It's up there with, like Ultraman doing his L shot or Wolverine making an X. I don't think
every wielder of the gold armor uses that style. I don't think season 3 Garo.
No, he didn't.
No, but it's still that level of iconography if you're talking about within its franchise.
I absolutely love the fact that since we're in anime, they can really do a lot more with the armor's faces. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they can move.
When they roar, it's awesome.
Especially Garo's.
I had a problem with the roaring because they kept reusing the same sound effect.
That's fair.
Yeah. And it gets really, really noticeable at the end.
And, save money where you can.
Copy and paste where you can, I guess. Save your actor's vocal cords.
Pretty much. But
for those big emotional scenes.
Absolutely love the fact that, at least at the beginning, his raging version of the armor, which is constantly on fire.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah.
And
one from flame, one from flame. And the fact that he tends to go berserk a lot more in that.
Because he's angsty G number 3.
Yeah.
His love
and then his
was like a truck berserker.
His dad is the one who's saving him a lot.
The rings don't stay, which kind of
the rings.
Yeah,
I love them.
Because they were purposeful. They weren't fashion, and I kind of wish they stayed.
The fact that you could use them to swing around.
I didn't miss them.
Trees and stuff. Pretty much become one of the people from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Just swinging around buildings.
Yeah.
Whee! Although it was sad. It's fun watching him do it in buildings or at a church, but watching him fight on the field with those things, what you gonna do?
Well, he didn't
stab it apparently, because that's what he does.
Yeah, he also uses them to hold on to his opponents and pull them in, so they have uses. I missed the extra option of
swinging.
Well,
Swip.
The extra options of battle tactics is what I was trying to say.
There's also another one.
Flip, release. Flip, release.
The dark armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Zek's armor, which also looks pretty damn great.
Mm-hmm.
But that ends up coming a little bit later. But yeah, a lot of the first part of the show is mostly just them fighting.
We're following two diverging stories. We're following the prince who was promised, and we're following his training with Raphael. And we're following Herman and Leon as they go off on adventures and kill horrors.
And meet Emma Guzman, who they meet in
Who was our Makai priest for the show.
Yes.
And I liked her.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah, she was great.
She was fun. She reminded me of Javi.
What did she remind you of?
That's she reminded me of.
Yeah.
She reminded me of Javi.
Well, that's her attitude for a lot of things, to be fair.
Yeah, it's true.
She's fun, she's playful, she don't give a F.
She really does.
And she's very capable of holding her own in a fight.
Yeah. Which is nice to see in a Makai priest.
Between her and Javi and not Rekka, I'm just like, she's great. So, Rekka fucking sucks. Anyway.
Well, there's the one from
Rekka fucking
kicking
sucks.
myself for not remembering her name, but the one from Goldstorm.
I could see her. I can't remember her name either.
But she was great.
She was okay.
She was better than Rekka.
Most people are.
Most people are better than Rekka.
I love
Flying
the fact
monkey with a stick is better than Rekka.
that through a lot of the first half. I'm really going to split this one into halves, so I can talk about the first half in more of an all-encompassing sort of area.
Because we don't want to talk about it all.
No, it's just the fact that we end up getting to see how they deal with some of the issues and how people are still, and how a lot of the people in this show are trash.
Yeah.
A lot of the people, like the one with the kid.
There's
and his mother.
The kid and his mother. You're talking about the cult.
Yeah.
The cult with their own special ceremony.
Yeah.
And that's
how they killed his dad.
Yeah, they killed his dad. The ceremony to keep the things at bay.
But you're sitting here like once they all ended up getting killed.
Once again, I'm getting a lot of Witcher vibes.
Well, yeah.
Witcher takes its inspirations from lots of other things.
Yeah.
You realize.
No, I get that. No, I'm just saying it's like
it's like recent.
Magically enhanced guy who fights monsters. Everybody else is fucking awful. Yeah, it's the Witcher.
I still love the fact that once you're watching those people in that cult get killed by the Horgus, you're like, oh no,
terrible. You're like Willy Wonka. No, stop, come back.
That's funny and true and sad. Oh no, how could you?
A stray power beam killed them. Whatever shall we do?
Fucking Paragus is the Broly movie. Oh no! Broly, your father was killed by a stray blast. Whatever shall you do? AKA Frieza being the best person in that fucking movie.
I need to watch that movie.
That movie is amazing. It's so fun.
I don't even like Dragon Ball. I thought that movie was good.
Oh no!
I need to watch that movie.
God, he's just the best.
We should review that.
Oh, we should. That is, I would love to do it because I absolutely love that movie.
Okay.
I do. So more towards the second half after. I'm so bad with names right now. After
you're still better than I'll ever be.
After
Alfonso ends up getting the armor.
The prince.
I do sort of hate that his teacher, the original wearer of the Garo armor,
died so quickly.
The Gaia armor,
I was okay with it. We got places to be. I'm okay with it.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I feel like you could have just introduced another armor into the show.
Maybe they could have, but they didn't.
But there's this whole other plot after Leon ends up going.
I'd also like to point out that you said that the entire point of the show is inheritance. He has to inherit the armor from his master.
I know, but I'm just like, it would have been better if the dude just hadn't died in the most non-spectacular way.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Like, at that point, just give him a goddamn new armor. Come on.
Yeah, that was okay.
They were out of colors.
There's a whole side plot after Leon basically loses his way for a while. He ends up staying
because at the halfway point, it's, they're sieging the castle because Alfonso has to take the throne back from Mendoza.
Mendoza does end up getting killed at this point.
He's usurped.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Yeah. But
he's taken out of the picture for a while because he's going to bring back this big, powerful horror, and they managed to hold it off, but unfortunately, Leon goes berserk. He loses control, and as a result, he winds up losing the golden armor.
And it ends up going to...
And it goes to Alfonso.
Yep. Instant. Because Alfonso and Leon's mothers were sisters, so they're cousins. And
hence he can inherit the armor.
Yes. I loved
what they twist
that first outing with Alfonso using the armor, and we got the full-on Star Platinum or to that horror's face.
It's straight up multiple, like Gatling gun punches, and he stops short of just saying, "Oh no." It's that. But that comes a couple episodes later, but still, it happens.
Amazing! It's my favorite moment in this show.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so tasty.
So while Alfonso is tending, I liked that we got to see Alfonso tending to his royal duties and being like out of his element after being on the run for so long. Mm-hmm. But that was nice. But we also get Leon, who shacks up with this family of farmers, who may as well have a giant glowing neon sign erected over their farm saying "Tragedy striking in 3, 2, 1." Because as soon as these people are on screen, especially because their daughter is has a thing for him, and they start developing a little bit of a romantic connection, they're gonna friggin' die.
You forgot what? Do you remember what show this is?
Forget you know what show this is. You know you're watching a work of fiction, and you know that this is Japan, and they like to tug the heartstrings.
Remember Akiba Ranger Death Flags?
And what I did like how it was executed, though. I like the way that I like the whole scene.
Look at another example of something obvious but executed.
Executed as in like they were burned alive, but then Laura has to die slowly in Leon's arms for extra dramatic effect.
Just the extra punch to the gut.
Oh, they killed the dog too.
Yeah, I know.
That was the extra one.
They're just like, why?
And of course, it's like because they're running to safety. Because earlier in the episode, Leon finds this like marker that keeps horrors away. He's like, "Go there, and stay there."
They don't get.
But then they're like, "Oh wait, our house is burning. We have to go protect our seeds." No, you don't.
Yeah, they
grow more.
They died for a stupid reason.
Ah, no!
For an incredibly stupid reason. Just like, well, that took about no time.
Darwinism at work.
Yeah.
But Leon does eventually end up getting the armor back.
Yep.
Herman is just like, I'm going to pretend to fight on the side of Mendoza for a while.
That he does.
And
I was not a fan of that arc.
Same.
That just kind of bugged me.
It's one, too obvious, and two, it doesn't translate.
It wasn't written very well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It just kind of
it doesn't translate well.
No.
And then at the end of it, he dies.
Yeah.
Although before that, Emma ends up taking... This is like the weirdest thing, but Emma ends up taking Leon's virginity.
I actually really like that episode.
Same.
Because we got a lot of Emma's backstory. We find out that she and her husband were a Makai Knight priest combo, and they hunted together. But then he fell to the dark side. He became a horror.
Yeah.
And their fight scene was really good.
Yeah.
And...
where she ends up launching like a whole bunch of kites into the air.
That scene where it's like we get to fight in the air.
Yeah.
Is so different.
Yeah,
done really so well.
And that's something that they can really only... I mean, they've done it in Garo before, but never this one.
Not like this, and not in this kind of a setting.
It's the medium. It's really the medium.
The medium really... This is when the animation is like really firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
It's really good. And yeah, she does wind up taking Leon's virginity in a scene that I actually thought was pretty good.
Yeah. Zaruba is always there.
Oh, yeah.
I love the ring. He's such a sassy bastard, man.
Yeah.
And it's also the same voice actor.
Yep.
Who's been voicing him since the beginning.
Yep, it is.
So he's also there throughout the rest of the seasons as well.
We have the lady ring, too, who doesn't speak much. She's like, I only speak when I need to.
I'm also hilarious.
Was it a ring or a necklace?
It's a necklace.
Yeah.
Okay. Necklace, but still, like, sharp.
So also, her mom, before that, ends up falling in love with some innkeeper's daughter.
Yeah, her mom, he falls in love with... I didn't like her voice.
Neither did I. You know what it reminded me of?
For this character, it was too high-pitched.
You know what it reminded me of?
What did it remind you of?
It was too high-pitched. It was a little bit monotone. It really reminded me of Aerith from Kingdom Hearts. Her voice actor, and that was trash.
You're talking about like Kingdom Hearts 1 when it was Mina Savari?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was god-awful.
Mina Savari I think was the second one, but she was still awful. You're talking about like Advent Children as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mina Savari. She was awful.
Where it's just
in the first one, it was Mandy Moore, and she was okay.
Mandy Moore was great, but it's just like watching throughout the rest of the year, so you're like, wow, no.
you can. It sounds like the actress is kind of straining to get to that register,
and I'm just like, if you have to strain,
and it's just it's too high, lowered a little bit.
Yeah.
For this character isn't that young. It doesn't need to be that high. I know you're trying to make her like the caring, womanly figure of the show, but it doesn't need to be that high.
Now, Mendoza's whole plan is, after he ends up coming back, I'm going to bring back this giant, big-titted horror.
It's Garo.
It's Garo. You're going to get there eventually.
You knew it was going to happen. Sooner or later, someone's going to fight a giant, naked, city-destroying woman clutching a broadsword.
And that's exactly what happens. But then Mendoza ends up absorbing her. But this is after Herman ends up getting killed. Now, the big horror originally couldn't be damaged, but Herman's dagger was
due to plot reasons.
Was stuck in her chest or something.
In the boobs.
And then Mendoza ends up absorbing her, ends up becoming an immortal being.
Yeah, the kind that can be killed.
And Garo...
It's like a fucking video game.
In this game...
I am now a god that can be killed by shooting it in the face with bullets.
But now Leon ends up having to fight it. There's a combination scene between the Garo and the Zoro armors.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I can find the picture.
But it looked good.
I'm not sure if... it's the shoulders.
I thought it looked good.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
Omnimon.
Yeah. I can see that.
Is that a Digimon?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a combination Digimon of Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon.
Yes.
If you Google image
words,
Garo the
but
Animation,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I'm sitting here like,
I thought it looked okay.
it was a great idea on paper.
yeah.
In terms of plot, I mean, it looked good, but it's again something that's obvious but executed well enough.
Yeah.
It worked for me.
It just reminded me so much of Omnimon. Also, I'm just not a big fan of gold and silver being used in the same suit. So, because they clash. But Mendoza's just like, I'm going to sacrifice the whole world to Makai. And so...
By the way, that's an Omnimon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, Leon's just like, I'm going to go to Makai and drag you down with me.
Yep.
And stab us both to a rock.
Yep.
And
Doesn't work out for him.
Emma's just like, I'm going to save you after she killed the assistant who became an evil monster lady.
Yeah. Can we talk about the other assistant who... Remember the other one, like the clumsy one?
No.
Who was always getting flustered, who was in there for one episode and then died horribly by getting bitten in half
Sad.
in an extremely gory way by a monster that,
Mendoza?
No, the what's her name?
Emma?
Yeah, Emma. So, no, not Emma. The
other
lady,
assistant.
The other assistant lady summoned.
Yeah. So she didn't like her.
No, it's not that she didn't like her. It's that she summoned a monster, and the monster needed to build its strength up. So she says, "Consume that woman."
Yeah.
And she does.
Octavia,
thank you.
I love the fact that Leon was willing to sacrifice himself. Emma and Alfonso. And Alfonso ends up having like this whole scene of him holding the gate open with his sword in the guy armor. And I'm just like, yes! Be the shield! Be the tank! While the DPS does all the work.
There you go. Aggro it.
Yeah, exactly. Aggro it. But they're in Makai. Emma's holding onto him by one of her strings. And I love her usage of that weapon that she has, swinging throughout the city like Spider-Man. And like building a giant web above the part of town they're in trying to capture her husband.
Yeah.
And I sit here like, she is the best character in this show. I love the fact that when she kills her husband, she has like a long ponytail.
Yeah. She
takes the long ponytail off, turns it into a sword, and stabs him with it.
Yeah.
And kills him. I sit here like, that's how we do in these streets.
Yeah. That's how you do.
Hair is a weapon. Fucking bayonet up in this bitch.
That's what happens when your husband tries to eat you.
Twice. But, yeah. So, Leon's down there with Mendoza, and then Mendoza catches on fire.
Yeah.
Because Leon's mother is just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to keep him here too, so you don't have to worry about it. He'll just burn for all eternity.
Good mom.
Like Phoenix.
As my soul does. And then he ends up having one last talk with her mom.
Get her the mug.
Yeah.
World's best mom.
There you go.
He ends up having one last talk with her mom after he calls his horse to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's on a horse.
The innkeeper lady is pregnant with this kid, with her mom's kid.
Yeah.
So he'll be the one.
So he will be the one to inherit the Zoro armor.
Yes, they do pretty much confirm it's a boy at the end of it. And that's pretty much the end of the show.
That's the show.
I liked it. It's not as good as season 3. I liked it.
Remains to be seen for me.
I still wasn't the biggest fan of the kind of the first half where Leon's being
trained pretty much.
Angsty teen number 3, yeah. Just because that is one trope I'm still
angst.
It's not like Amazon's level of angst, but still.
No, it isn't like Amazon's level of angst. It certainly is not that.
It's funny because it's sad.
But he's like, F you, Dad, I'm going to go listen to Linkin Park.
Now I'm sad.
I'm going to go listen to My Chemical Romance.
There you
go. No one's dead.
Less sad.
No one's dead. My Chemical Romance.
But let's talk about these characters fairly. Because we're going to focus on the main 4. Okay. Let's talk about
Sorry.
I like a couple other songs.
No, that's funny. Leon was
Girl.
Very shonen protagonist kind of bullshit, but better than usual is what I'm trying to say.
It's like,
it works because he had Herman to play against.
True. Yeah. And the first half is...
And he was competent.
The first half is definitely different from the second half.
Oh yeah, he did have a lot of growth.
That's another thing. People in this show grow and change.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone, like all 4 of our leads, they go through some kind of arc.
They do not end the same way they started.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which is, it's definitely a good thing. I really like just, the difference between the first and the second half of the shows for him, where he's a lot more of a calm and stoic and much more mature character, less prone to getting angry in the second half of it. Mm-hmm. And it works for him. Because the first half is basic angry shonen man. Number 4.
Yeah.
Dad. Sick of his dad.
I learned from watching you.
Literally. Ha! Herman.
Womanizer.
I loved him.
He was a great actor.
I hate characters like this.
But
he has the charisma.
He does. He actually... You hate womanizers, but you like womanizers who actually have the charisma to back up the womanizing.
He has the charisma. He also... He's funny.
Like, he's a womanizer, but he actually gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of womanizers who just don't. But he gives a shit.
Mm-hmm. Like Guy. Really, that's only a guy ever. Reference.
But to say, not the guy from season 3 of Garo. Wasn't his name Guy?
Yeah, but he got better.
Yeah. He's also still the worst, but I love him. Alfonso.
If I'm thinking of the same one.
The guy who was also Gokai Silver.
Oh, that guy. Never mind.
Alfonso. It's great.
I liked him a lot.
The standard prince archetype here. I liked it though. Because of the fact that he's in this world where everything is so god awful. It's just like it works to have somebody who's so there to stand up for
He's
justice.
a shining beacon of hope.
Literally in some cases. When he takes on that golden armor.
Is there something you'd like to say, Matt?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Say it.
Because he is here! Thank you, damn it. It's all my reference. I literally call him the shining pillar of hope in the show. It's literally his... So, and his catchphrase is, everything's okay because I am here.
Okay.
All right.
I thought you were going to say something completely different, but that works too.
Nope, just holding into My Hero Academia references.
Oh, fair.
But Alfonso...
We can review that next.
I do love...
He's not going to watch that.
No.
You will.
I'll watch it again, sure. If you watch it, go for it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Alfonso's still a lot of fun to watch, especially, he was a great character. He ends up taking on the responsibility of the 2 armors that he ends up getting very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And
he takes everything seriously.
And is definitely willing to
seriousness and serious face.
Seriously, but not to the point of annoyingness.
Yeah,
he gets there a couple times. But he doesn't stay there.
No, I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either. He's willing to give the Garo armor back once he realizes
that is true. I was
dedicated to
honestly, part of me was expecting that was going to be like the final battle, is that Alfonso was going to go bad because of a lust for power. The show is better than that. We know the show is better than that. But at the time this was airing, this is what I'm referring to. That at the time this was airing, when I first watched it, you're just like, the show is better than that, hopefully. And I'm very scared. But luckily the show is better than that.
Yep. And Emma.
The best.
She's really good.
Every single time it ends up coming to a Makai Priestess being in one of these shows, if they're Jabi, they're pretty much the best character. So that's why I always say the first 2 seasons are
better than Jabi.
I don't think she was the best character, but she was still really good.
I'm going to say this though. She's better than Jabi.
That's a damn lie.
Why?
More character development. Also, she didn't die.
Also true.
No matter what, Jabi has that on her record. Died.
And came back. Because that's how we do in these streets.
We make hair a weapon and death.
That's how we do on these dirt streets.
Hair is a weapon and death is an inconvenience at best. No, what would it go on and say? His death is a day trip for us and an ice cream sundae for him.
Go ahead.
But I'm lactose intolerant. No one lactose intolerant in heaven, Krillin. That's why
it's heaven.
Pissed off Gohan was the best.
I watched it while playing that game. Anyway, but yeah, I really liked Emma.
Move.
And Emma's just a lot of fun to watch. She's definitely an enjoyable character. I do wish that she got just a little bit more, or at least just a whole episode dedicated to her.
She did.
Why do I not remember that?
I think
that was the husband episode.
I think he means an episode dedicated to her person, not an episode dedicated to her backstory.
Yeah,
I feel like that was dedicated to her completely as well.
I think it was.
Do you mean in the present and no flashbacks?
Yeah, that's what I think is what he was trying to imply.
Because even the one with the husband was just like, this is how we got to this point.
He wants a whole episode dedicated to her to see where she can grow.
Well, that was kind of the second episode with her rooting out that evil priest who was torturing people.
Yeah, she fuck that guy.
Yeah, she did.
She fucked up almost anybody she could.
Which is pretty much everyone. So. But yeah,
and everyone she did deserve.
I like this show.
Because they were.
Oh no, it was a very good. It was a very good show. We were very hesitant when it got announced that Garo was getting an anime. Like we were, because you could fuck that up royally. But they did.
Well, that could be anything.
Yeah, I know. But when you're ever adapting anything, that's always the fear. But they did a very good job of making it their own thing, but also still staying true to the lore in the universe that they're adapting.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I sort of wish.
You know, they didn't miss the fucking 3 creepy children that Garo has to report to for horror.
They were there.
I didn't.
There was just one.
Yeah. But it wasn't as prevalent. It wasn't like the first season of Garo where it was like every other episode they had to go see them.
I'm with him on this. It was nice that it wasn't there as much.
Yeah.
It was still there.
Did you go see the Watchdogs? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Still
wish
creepy.
It was there enough.
especially with this being a thing, and I wish that
Their
the
follow-up was
same
just...
studio, since we have this as an animation, where's our Kamen Rider Super Sentai ones? Although, I mean, I guess you
What
could say-
studio animated this?
Oh, so you have your Sentai animation. It's called Samurai Flamenco.
that started out more of a writer.
And turned into a Sentai. So there you go. We have both.
Let's see what's nice.
So yeah, the studio... I would like to see actual Kamen Rider animes and Super Sentai animes as opposed to
Maybe we have an Ultraman one.
As opposed to
Yeah, but it sucks.
Yeah. As opposed to references to Sentai and Kamen Rider in anime,
Yes.
like the one character in One Punch Man, or all
Rider.
Yeah, or all of Samurai Flamenco.
Or Saiyaman. Your favorite. Everyone's favorite.
Playing through that part in DBZ Kakarot.
Saiyaman.
I fucking hate the Great Saiyaman. Fucking sucks.
Though it is kind
That's
of
what I'd like. That's one thing I'd like them to do instead of do a live action show for the next one. Maybe just go full anime. Why not?
I mean, they're done by 2 separate ones because the next series is actually a battle royale series that they're doing.
Back to Ryuki arts.
Yeah, pretty much. The next Garo season is a battle royale.
Oh, I thought you meant Kamen Rider.
Ooh, this is the next Garo one.
Okay.
So I really wonder how that's going to go. But yeah, I would love for them to do a Rider or a Sentai, specifically those two because everything else has been adapted so far. To do
even Metal Heroes. Awkward silence.
No, I'm thinking.
We don't think so.
We don't count Robotech and Kabutech as things. It's Toei at this point.
We don't. A lot of people do.
It is Toei at this point.
I would love to see a Wind Spectre anime.
I wouldn't.
Shut up.
Just watch Tiger and Bunny instead.
That's fair.
There you go.
That's fair.
That's probably the closest thing we've got to Kamen Rider.
Yeah, Tiger and Bunny.
It's Tiger and Bunny.
The companion series that they have. Speaking of which, Carol.
Remember when Tiger and Bunny predicted Pepsi's next product?
No,
it wasn't a prediction. It was a thing that they just decided to make it. That Pepsi decided to make
Oh.
it. Anyway, next time, you and me.
Ultraman Max.
Yes, we'll be doing Ultraman Max next.
Sorry, I missed Pepsi Next. It was actually pretty good.
I never had it, weirdly enough.
Really? I actually prefer it more than Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi Max. Don't do it. It'll probably be canceled.
Also, let us know what you think of Garo The Animation in the comments below. Also, comment below if you'd like to see us review other animes that maybe not be Tokusatsu. Just anime.
Please do.
I'd love to do JoJo.
Just bring nerd.
There's a lot more out there than JoJo, but I know that
Nothing is out there more than JoJo.
Bring Nerd in Denial back over here to Tokucast, and just because it's already dead. It's dead. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Follow us on all the things. As always, thank you to everybody who watches and to all of our patrons. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.